Have you ever wondered who the real genius behind our modern electrical world was? It's a name you've probably heard, but his story is far more incredible than you can imagine. We're talking about Nikola Tesla, the man who dreamed of a world powered by free wireless energy. But who was he really, beyond the myths and legends? Get ready, because we're about to dive deep into the electrifying life of one of history's most brilliant and misunderstood minds. From his cosmic visions to his epic rivalry with Thomas Edison, this is the story of the man who invented the 20th century. Nikola Tesla was born during a lightning storm in 1856 in a small village in what is now Croatia. His mother, a creative genius in her own right, invented household appliances in her spare time. She couldn't read, but she had a photographic memory, a trait Nikola inherited. From a young age, Tesla was different. He was plagued by intense visions, flashes of light that would bring entire inventions to his mind, fully formed and ready to be built. He didn't need blueprints. He could build, test, and even disassemble machines entirely in his head. He was a true visionary, seeing the world not just as it was, but as it could be. Tesla's formal education took him to Austria and Prague, where he studied engineering and physics. He was a star student, but his unconventional thinking often clashed with his professors. He quickly realized that the existing electrical system, direct current or DC, promoted by the famous inventor Thomas Edison, was incredibly inefficient. Tesla had a better idea, a revolutionary concept that would change everything: alternating current, or a C. He saw how a C could transmit power over vast distances with minimal loss, something DC just couldn't do. This idea became his obsession, the key to unlocking a future of widespread, accessible electricity. In 1884, with just 4 cents in his pocket and a letter of recommendation to Thomas Edison, Tesla arrived in America. The letter supposedly said, "My dear Edison, I know 2 great men, and you are one of them. The other is this young man." Edison hired him on the spot. First they worked together, but their fundamental differences soon became a problem. Edison was a practical businessman, a master of trial and error. Tesla was a theorist, a visionary who worked from grand principles. The breaking point came when Edison offered Tesla $50,000 a fortune back then to redesign his inefficient DC motors. Tesla worked tirelessly and presented a brilliant solution. But when he asked for the promised payment, Edison laughed it off, saying, "Tesla, you don't understand our American humor." That was it. Tesla resigned, feeling betrayed and disillusioned. This moment didn't just end a job. It ignited one of the greatest rivalries in the history of science, the War of the Currents. After leaving Edison, Tesla faced some of the hardest times of his life. He was forced to dig ditches for $2 a day just to survive. But he never gave up on his dream of AC power. His big break came when he met investors who believed in his vision, founded the Tesla Electric Company, and finally had the resources to develop his AC system. He designed motors, generators, and transformers, all the components needed for a modern power grid. His work caught the attention of George Westinghouse, an industrialist and a direct competitor to Thomas Edison. Westinghouse saw the immense potential in Tesla's AC technology and licensed his patents. Together, they went head-to-head with Edison's DC empire. Edison, fearing he would lose his dominance, launched a smear campaign against AC. He staged public demonstrations where he electrocuted animals using AC to prove how dangerous it was. It was a brutal and ugly fight, but technology and science were on Tesla's side. The turning point was the 1893 Chicago World's Fair. It was a bid to light up the entire event. And both Edison and the Westinghouse Tesla team competed for the contract. Westinghouse won, underbidding Edison significantly. When the switch was flipped, hundreds of thousands of light bulbs, all powered by Tesla's AC system, bathed the White City in an unprecedented, brilliant glow. It was a stunning spectacle that demonstrated the safety and superiority of alternating current to the world. The War of the Currents was effectively over, and Tesla had won. But the ultimate victory came with the Niagara Falls project. The dream was to harness the immense power of the falls to generate electricity for the entire region. It was the most ambitious electrical project ever attempted. Using Tesla's patents, George Westinghouse built the world's first major hydroelectric power plant. On November 16, 1896, power from Niagara Falls reached Buffalo, New York, 26 miles away. It was a monumental achievement. Tesla's childhood dream of harnessing nature's power was now a reality, lighting up homes and powering industries. The modern electrical grid was born. With the success of AC, Tesla became a celebrity. He was brilliant, charming, and theatrical. He held spectacular public demonstrations in his New York City lab, where he would shoot lightning from his fingertips and light up wireless bulbs with his body. He was a showman, but it was all to demonstrate the incredible potential of electricity. He wasn't just building machines. He was showing humanity a glimpse of the future. But Tesla's mind was already racing ahead to his next big idea. One that was even more ambitious: wireless communication and power transmission on a global scale. He imagined a world where information and energy could be broadcast through the air, available to anyone, anywhere, for free. This wasn't just about sending messages. It was about powering the entire planet without a single wire. To achieve this, he built a mysterious laboratory in Colorado Springs. Here, he conducted some of his most daring and spectacular experiments. He created a massive Tesla Coil, a device of his own invention which produced artificial lightning bolts over 100 feet long. The thunder from his experiments could be heard for miles. During one experiment, he drew so much power that he caused a massive outage, plunging the entire city into darkness. He believed he had detected signals from outer space and was on the brink of a new era of communication. Fueled by his findings in Colorado, Tesla secured funding from the powerful banker J.P. Morgan to build his ultimate project, Wardenclyffe Tower on Long Island, New York. This was meant to be the first transmitter in his world wireless system. A giant 187-foot tower rose from the ground, a testament to his monumental vision. Tesla believed Wardenclyffe would not only transmit messages across the Atlantic, but also broadcast power to the entire globe. However, his ambition became his downfall. As costs mounted, J.P. Morgan grew skeptical. When another inventor, Guglielmo Marconi, successfully sent a simple wireless signal, the letter S, across the Atlantic using much simpler and cheaper technology, Morgan pulled his funding. He wasn't interested in free energy for the world. He wanted a return on his investment. Without money, construction on Wardenclyffe halted. Tesla's grandest dream was shattered, and the tower was eventually torn down and sold for scrap. The failure of Wardenclyffe marked the beginning of Tesla's decline. He continued to invent, patenting ideas for things like vertical takeoff aircraft, radio-controlled vehicles, and even early particle beam weapons he called a death ray. But he struggled to find funding. His ideas were seen as too eccentric, too far ahead of their time. The world had celebrated him as the wizard of the electric age, but now it was leaving him behind. Tesla spent the last decades of his life in relative obscurity, living in a series of New York hotels, became more reclusive, spending his time feeding pigeons in the park, which he loved dearly. Despite his hundreds of patents and his foundational contributions to our world, he died nearly penniless and alone in his hotel room in 1943 at the age of 86. The man who had given the world so much had very little to show for it in the end. So what is Nikola Tesla's legacy? It's all around us. It's every time you flip a light switch, charge your phone, or use Wi-Fi, you are using technology built upon his foundational ideas. The entire global power grid runs on his AC system. Radio, remote control, robotics, his fingerprints are on countless modern technologies. He was a man who truly lived in the future, a visionary whose mind operated on a different plane. For a long time, his name was largely forgotten by the public, overshadowed by figures like Edison and Marconi. But in recent years, there has been a massive resurgence of interest in his life and work. We've come to recognize him not just as an inventor, but as a prophet of the technological age. He dreamed of a future with clean, renewable, and accessible energy for the dream we are still striving to achieve today. Nikola Tesla wasn't just the man who invented the 20th century. He was a man who gave us a blueprint for the 21st and beyond. His story is a powerful reminder that sometimes the greatest minds are the ones who dare to dream the biggest. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey through the incredible life of Nikola Tesla. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about the hidden figures of history, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Let us know in the comments which inventor we should cover next. Till then, stay curious.